And welcome to my DC Superhero Girls Team Power review. Boy, never thought I'd ever say that. Right off the bat, decent game. Oh, there's New Game Plus! Well, that already makes this review amazing. Had no idea there was New Game Plus. Congrats, developers. But yeah, so DC Superhero Girls Team Power, based off the cartoon, I'm gonna more than assume. I will raise my hand right now and disclaimer. I had no idea there was a cartoon of the same name. So, I can't necessarily base this review on how it's connected or if it's anything similar, but I would probably argue it might be. Excuse me. So, this game... Long story short, and I'm being very nice here, first of all, I do heavily recommend this game. Like, no matter what, I do recommend this game. I thoroughly enjoyed it. But it is kind of mediocre, but it's mediocre in a very good way that makes this game go from, like, say, being a 6 out of 10 to like an 8 out of 10. Because what it does very well, and it doesn't do anything more than that. So instead of trying to crowd you with like 300 mechanics, it gives you one simple one, and it calls it a day. So this is your main map. There is another one which I will show in a moment. This is your main map where your side quests will be. So like you can see the question marks, the versus, which is a fighting mission. And then the speech bubbles, which you can talk to others, and then the black dots might usually indicate that you can play as a different character, and then there'll be different events for them. So it does at least allow you to play as each of the 6 characters to play as. Although there are 12 characters in this game and in the cartoon, you do sadly only get to play as 6 of the cast, so 3 heroes and 3 villains. Which are Wonder Woman, Batgirl, Supergirl. Let's have a look at my sticker sheet. Yeah, Wonder Woman, Batgirl, Supergirl for the heroes, and then for the villains you can play Star, Sapphire, Harley Quinn, and Catwoman. So it's a shame we don't get to play the other half of the cast, but I also suppose that's kind of a good thing, because otherwise the game would be fairly overcrowded with the amount of characters, and most of them would be forgotten about. So only having half the cast was probably a good design choice, or maybe a rush choice. It was a good choice because I do feel that any more than that, and it would have kind of been overwhelming, because even the 6 characters you get, when you unlock the 6th character and then that's it, it does kind of feel like that's a nice round number. Again, personally, as a DC fan, I would love to have played all the characters, but this is kind of where the mediocrity of this game comes in. The combat... Ooh. So, I will quickly mention, this is one of the collectibles in the game. You can take pictures of the villains or heroes' graffiti. Just take a simple picture of it, post it on Superstar, and then obviously complete the mission. And actually, this is a good time that I can do this. I was just about to show off some of the combat. It's fairly basic, but I like it. Yeah, then you just hand in a quest like this, and then you unlock new buildings in the building section, which I will also show in a little while. But the combat is very, very basic. Oh, here's another collectible. Just gonna casually 100% this in the review. Yeah, so the combat is basically 3 things, essentially. The first thing is your power-up. This is the upgrade screen for every character. They all have health upgrades, they all get smash upgrades, which is basically, if you do a 4-hit combo, you then do a slow-mo dive attack as your smash move, which does a lot of damage. Skill is ability 1, if you will, so it's your cheap, easy to use skill, which is obviously on R, and they all have their own unique skill. And then SP is your sort of special move, which obviously takes a lot longer to fill the gauge, but does a lot more damage. And in this case, Batgirl has a Bat Rocket. Don't tell Batman. And then your action bar, this, personally, I've never really used. It gives her a bat hook so she can fire up on top of a building. I've never used this, and I've never seen a reason to use this. Because I've even tried to use it by grappling onto enemies to zipline myself towards them. But for the life of me, I either couldn't do it, or I'm just really bad. I just couldn't pull it off. But this is the upgrade screen for everyone. This is everyone gets the same. Everyone also has their own superhero costumes that you can unlock, which I do like. So again, because I am a DC fan, there are some costumes in this that are some nice references. Like I think Catwoman's second costume is from the Batman Hush arc, which is nice. Obviously Harley Quinn gets her new 52 costume. Wonder Woman gets her new 52 costume. So for big fans like myself, or like Star Sapphire gets her original costume, which is what she's currently wearing. That's her one from the cartoon. So there is that, and then you can also buy clothes to dress up the girls in whatever you unlock. There's not many things to buy for each character, which again is a good thing. So that means you can find a design choice like what I've done, which is simply just some shorts, a bat shirt and a bat hat. I'm a simple man. Yeah, so that's the combat in a nutshell. It is just 4-hit combo. You can dodge roll, and if you dodge roll at the perfect time, you go into sort of like a Bayonetta slow-mo move, where you can then do that smash attack where it's like a crit move, and you can dish out a lot of damage very quickly. The one thing that I do like about this game, I will also admit, is if you're willing to learn this game and get very good at it, which, although, and what I'm about to say is kind of like a sexist sort of skill-based thing, but because this game would most likely have been designed for teenage girls and little girls, I'm not necessarily going to believe that they're going to be able to beat each mission without taking a single damage, because if you do that and you fill up other requirements for each mission, you get a bonus in money and ability points. So the green stars are to level up your characters, the money is to buy clothes and to level up the city. So if you play absolutely perfectly and take no damage essentially the entire game, you will get a lot of money and a lot of upgrade points. But I honestly do not see a lot of people doing that. But you can come into this VR mode, which I don't know why it's VR mode, but you can go into free roam mode day and night to play as your superhero version, because you cannot in the free mode, what I'm currently in, you cannot switch to Batgirl, Supergirl, Wonder Woman, whatever have you, and roam around the city. You have to do it in the VR mode. That's my only gripe with this game, I guess, personally, is that you can't roam around the city as your superhero or supervillain counterpart, but there is at least a mode that you can do that in. But you can also, rematch mode, play previous missions. So if, like with this one, because obviously this was the very first mission in the entire game, obviously I played very poorly because I don't know how the game worked. That's an excuse between you and me. But basically, obviously, I'm allowed to replay the entire game and have a look at the star requirements like max 5 chains, 1 just dodges, which is your perfect dodges, and player HP at 80%. But if I want to get the 500 coins at the end where it shows the star, the full blue star, those requirements then get met better, as you can see here, which then tells you I need max chains of 10, 3 just dodges, and 0 damage. So there is a lot of replayability with this if you're willing to put in the time and effort to perfect every level. You know, like imagine like the Devil May Cry sub missions where it's like do this and take no damage and get an upgrade piece. That's essentially what this is, but you're just replaying the main game again. And I will admit, I do really like that because it does add in the replayability, and for some people like me, the sort of perfectionist inside, where I can just pick the fight, you know, see what I've been missing. So like for example, Obviously no damage, 3 dodges and 10 chains, which my best was 6 chains and 2 dodges. So knowing that, I can go in and obviously try and perfect every level. I will probably do that, but I'll probably do that in my own time. So I do really like that. And then sub-rematch are your sort of side quests or submissions that you unlock that you can redo permanently.
We'll see you soon.
So that's that. What else is there? Oh yeah, also there's Superstar Post, which is essentially Facebook stroke Twitter. The more photos you take, obviously the more followers and likes and stuff you can get. And that revolves to each character, not... So yeah, also this is also a perfect example. As you can see here, Wonder Woman has to talk to this man to do his quest, and, unsurprisingly, Catwoman has to talk to the cat and get a quest from that. Which... amazing. Purely amazing. But yeah, so I do like this game. Like I say, sadly I can't compare it to the cartoon. If it's anything of that quality, I would more than assume it is. But yeah, I mean, as a 23-year-old man, I've thoroughly enjoyed this game. Like, it has been a game for a very long time that I personally haven't sat down and played a game and enjoyed it. The last game I played was Biomutant, and personally that game was just very mediocre. And the weird thing is, that game's mediocre for the bad reasons. This game is mediocre for the good reasons. So like say, like with the combat, it's not extremely in-depth, like say like Bayonetta, Devil May Cry, God of War, Ninja Gaiden. But what it does do is at least has something that is on par with the audience that it's designed at, that if they want to get better, it's simple enough that it gets them into these kind of games that might open their world to say something more like Devil May Cry, God of War, what have you. I mean, I would expect not to, but at least it's simple enough that it might pique someone's interest to say move over to Bayonetta. Because going from this to Bayonetta might be a decent leap, because Bayonetta's fairly easy in terms of its combat compared to the other games. But anyway, so we've got the main city. You've then got the high school, which is a fairly short location area. You can only really stand out on the front, which is this basically. There's not really much to it, besides some collectible side quests. Oh, which also does remind me, one thing I do like, on the right hand side you can see the collectibles. So the cat symbol are the villain graffiti, the Wonder Woman symbol is the hero graffiti, the golden hamster I believe are only findable in fighting missions. So in that VR where you just saw me, you could replay those missions. If you miss any hamsters, you can go in and have a look for them. And then the 38 regular hamsters are the ones that are just roaming around the main world, hidden anywhere and everywhere. You can find them because they do sort of glow off in the distance, and then as you get closer they do appear. But they are your collectibles in a nutshell. Kind of annoying, I will admit that there's so many of them. But again, I'm not necessarily going to assume most people who's going to be playing this are going to get them. Again, I will. The problem is there's going to be no guides for this game, so I'm going to have to look out for them myself, and you never know, I could maybe put one together myself. I'm not going to, because I'm not really that way inclined, because I've already missed so many. I would have to scour through my entire video. Which also does remind me, this game took me about 9 hours to beat. Again, I haven't done all the content, because I felt like the game was kind of wrapping up, that I thought, I'll probably wrap this up for now, because I don't want to get into a scenario where if I'm doing the side content, that I start hating myself and then just beat the game for the sake of just beating it. So I did beat this game in about 9.5 hours. Doing most of the side content. I don't think I've missed many, but then again, you do only unlock the villains on the latter end of the story, so I have probably missed a lot. But in terms of the hero side of things, I'd probably argue I haven't missed too many. So this is Hob City. The story goes that you're attacking Giganta, and then eventually these toys come out of nowhere and destroy the entire city, or this part of the city. So then it's up to you, the school council, and Lex Luthor to rebuild the city. I will admit I haven't built most of it because most of it is not buildable. Like you can see over there in front of me, that's still required for building. I'm going to assume that's tied to doing side missions. So again, because I've missed some and if not all of the villain side missions, that's where these would have been locked off. And I can't build on them just yet. But I would more than assume just play the story. Or these might just be completely locked off forever, in which case, weirdly designed, but okay. But so this is kind of where your story takes place and what it's mainly built about. But yeah, I mean, I guess that's everything that I want to say about this in 15 minutes. Nice and concise. I don't really think I'm forgetting anything. But yeah, I mean, that's it really. Like I say, this game, I'm not going to beat around the bush. This game is kind of mediocre, but because it is designed for teenage girls or you know, fans of the cartoon, I am not for 1 second going to fault this game and say, oh, it's a 5 out of 10, meh. No, this game is a solid 7, 8 out of 10. Like I say, its mediocrity is what makes this so good. Because it doesn't beat around the bush trying to make you do 300 different things at once. Like I say, the combat is basic because of the audience it's designed for, but it is somewhat skill-based if you're willing to learn that slight, you know, dodge timing or the 4-hit combo to do a smash attack, or, you know, abilities and stuff like that. Like, it is kind of rewarding if you're willing to learn it, and again, even as someone who can play Devil May Cry and stuff, not to the highest extent, but fairly decently, this game is a nice beginner's entry to the world of combo combat. I really don't know what to call it, but yeah, so I mean, I thoroughly enjoy this, and if you're on the fence, even if you're an adult male, because I have essentially sold this game to one adult male and to a parent of their daughter, so I think Toybox Inc. were the devs of this, don't quote me on that because it popped up in the credits, so whoever the devs were of this, if you do come across this review, you get a thumbs up from me. This was a thoroughly enjoyable game. Congratulations. You've actually managed to make a game that I'm happy about. Excuse me. This game will also happily sit on my shelf. It will. I'm going to more than happily keep this. I will more than happily recommend this game if anyone should ask for it. You know, you want a good, decent game and you own the Switch and you're not bothered about being an adult male or just an adult in general and you want to play a decent game, get this. This is well worth every penny. But having said that, because this is not a first-party Nintendo game, there is a chance that, again, as far as I'm aware, I was like the only person on Twitch streaming this, I may be the only person on YouTube playing this, and I may be the only person reviewing this. So if that is all true, I'm like the only person or one of a handful of people playing this, this game will inevitably go on sale very, very quickly. So although I can recommend it at full price, weirdly, even though it is only like a 9-hour game, if you play it the way that I did, or maybe about 15 hours if you want 100%, it may be 20. But I still thoroughly recommend it, even at full price. It is well worth every penny that I spent, because I traded in Biomutant and got it for free. So thanks Biomutant for being mediocre to the poorest extent for me to buy this game that I more thoroughly enjoyed. So yeah, I suppose hopefully I've sold you on this game, because it's definitely worth playing. You should definitely run out to your local GameStop, wherever you are in the world, and buy a copy. You will not regret it. It is harmless fun. It is. You will start the game like I did, sort of hand in your head, oh no, what am I doing? But by the end, it's you will more than thoroughly enjoy it. I guarantee you. This is definitely a game to play and to keep. And I haven't said that in a very long time. The last game I did that with was East 9. And the last game I did that to was Ni no Kuni 2, which was back in 2018. So 2018 and then this year for East 9. Those are the last two games that I've thoroughly enjoyed and bought day one. This is another one. So congratulations to the developers and publishers of this game. You've made a grown man enjoy a kid's game for once. So thumbs up. But as always, I hope you enjoyed the review. I hope it was somewhat informative. If not, and if you have any questions, do post them in the comments. I will try and answer them as quickly and as best as I can. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed. Obviously, I will also post a link to part 1 in the description box below. Obviously, if you enjoy this and any of my other content, like, subscribe, whatever. I never do this, but hey, you never know. You might enjoy my content from here on out. But otherwise, I hope to see you tomorrow. Not tomorrow. Doesn't matter. YouTube doesn't work that way, idiot. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the review. I'll see you in the next one. Ta-ta. Good night.